is Jim Harbaugh is the new coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. And this was a place we thought he could go. He's an older guy with some experience, and so we thought he'd want to go somewhere with some talent. And Los Angeles has plenty of talent to go around. Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler might still be there. I think he's a free agent though, so we'll see. Keenan Allen, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Derwin James. It can go on and on with the talent that is in LA. They also fired Brandon Staley, who was a defensive-minded coach, because he made some really weird offensive decisions. And so they've decided they're going to go offensive-minded this time. And this is kind of the same route that Tennessee went, firing Mike Vrabel, brought in an offensive-minded guy in Brian Callahan. So, Chus, what did you think of this Jim Harbaugh hiring?
A lot of people, we were talking about it before the show. A lot of youngins have talked about Jim Harbaugh's career, saying that he has had no NFL experience and is this a good move? Well, he has had NFL experience and has done pretty well with the San Francisco 49ers as a head coach from 2011 to 2014. He is a winning NCAA and NFL career record. He also has a winning NFL postseason record at 5-3. And he does have a losing NCAA record at 6-7. But the nice thing is he just won that national championship with Michigan. He's had a lot of great years with Michigan. They've been very relevant over the last couple of years, and they finally won that title. JJ is going to be in the draft this coming year, and there's a lot of, decent Michigan players that are either going to be in the draft or next season. So obviously he's done really well with his coaching staff to develop these players, which I think will help going into the LA Chargers when it comes to the need of a little bit of development, especially on a team that has some positions such as running back, for example, which might not have Austin Eckler, that might need to develop the running backs, or, maybe develop Justin Herbert just a little bit more, just because he almost is stagnant at this point. You kind of want to have him go over that hill and kind of become that elite quarterback that many people have been, waiting for. And I do think Justin Herbert is good. And I think that he's just kind of been just like hitting a brick wall. A lot of people can even compare him in a way to like a Justin Fields, in a situation where it's like, Justin Fields is a really good quarterback, or is he? And the same thing with Justin Herbert. Is he a good quarterback, or is he? Well, I think Justin Herbert is better than Justin Fields, but I digress when it comes to that. I do think this is a good signing. I think that Jim Harbaugh, like I said, had some, great seasons with Michigan. He had some, if you look like through his history of what he's done, this dude he was with Western Kentucky from 1994 to 2001 as an offensive consultant. Then he was the quarterbacks coach for the Raiders from 2002 to 2003. Then he went back to college and head coached the University of San Diego from 2004 to 2006. Then he was Stanford's head coach from 2007 to 2010. Then he was the 49ers head coach from 2011 to 2014. And then he was Michigan's head coach from 2015 to 2023. So it's not like he jumped around a pretty decent bit. He had NFL prior kind of experience working, alongside with the Raiders. And then obviously working as a head coach from 2011 to 2014 as well. And I believe that might have been whenever the 49ers were pretty decent in those couple of years. So,
yeah, Frank Gore, Michael Crabtree, Colin Kaepernick's random really good year.
Yeah, legendary run by Colin Kaepernick that year. But that's what I'm saying. Like he's had those really good seasons. I think the reason I don't know if the reason he got I don't remember the reason he got let go. I don't know if it was because they had a losing season, or if they were going in a different direction, or if he wanted to sign with Michigan because it was just a better price. But nonetheless, he's jumped back and forth, and I think he's more than ready and capable of coaching the LA Chargers. I think, honestly, this might be a really beneficial move for the Chargers, considering the Chargers have always had a pretty decent team, but just have never reached that potential that they have. You think about all the players that they have on that team, and the fact that they aren't relevant is kind of surprising to me, because you have Eckler, you still have Keenan Allen, you still have Mike Williams, you have your franchise guy being Justin Herbert. You got a pretty solid defense too. They're not terrible. They definitely could use some work, but they definitely have some key components on that team. I just think, I mean, if you do a couple right drafts, maybe a couple acquisitions in the free agency market, maybe even throw in some trades here and there and do something crazy with that, I don't think the Chargers are that bad. I mean, I don't know if they're better LA team at this moment. I mean, granted, we'll see in a couple of years because the Rams are getting a little older, but I don't know. I think this is a really good signing for the LA Chargers. I really think that people should be excited about this and, ready for the change because he is a very notable quarterback in the NCAA. And I think this will be really good.
Yeah. So when I read those comments, I saw a bunch on mainly Ian Rappaport's post about Jim Harbaugh getting the job. And all these like youngins, these hooligans were on Twitter saying, I can't believe Jim Harbaugh is going straight from college to being a head coach of this team. The Chargers made a stupid mistake. He has no NFL experience. I felt old. I'm telling you, I know that I'm not like super old, but when I had these 10-year-old kids telling me they didn't remember Jim Harbaugh being a coach when he was in the Super Bowl just over 10 years ago, felt old. And what a lot of people don't remember, our age especially and younger, is Jim Harbaugh was an NFL quarterback. He wasn't just a coach in the NFL who made his way up. He was selected in the first round in 1987 by the Chicago Bears. And then he made his way through the league, took the Colts to an AFC championship game. He was with the Ravens for a bit. But guess where else he played? San Diego, which was where the Chargers were in the 90s and early 2000s. So Jim Harbaugh, he went to Michigan as a student. He said, I'm going to come back and we're going to win a national championship for my alma mater. He did it. And now maybe he's saying, hey, I'm going to go back to one of my old teams. There's an opening here in LA where the Chargers are now. I'm going to get them a Super Bowl. So maybe he's just trying to give back. That's all he's doing here. And I think this is a really great decision for something you kind of alluded to, but Justin Herbert has regressed. He was great his rookie year, and then since then, he's kind of just not been as good. Yes, Quentin Johnston might have been a miss in the draft as a receiver, but let's get him developed. Let's figure out who's going to replace Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who are getting older. Both still play very well. Mike Williams got hurt, but Keenan Allen had a fantastic season. Austin Eckler regressed this season under Brandon Staley. He was not good, and Austin Eckler has never been a great just pass or rusher. He's not a pure rusher type running back. He gets a lot of his yards in the passing game, but even then, he wasn't getting a lot of that. I want to see Jim Harbaugh use his quarterback experience, understand the position, and go to Justin and be able to work with him and get this passing game going that should be one of the best in the NFL. And that can allow them to be a playoff team. I mean, the Raiders almost made the playoffs this season with Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. The playoffs are wide open in the AFC because it's a cannibalistic conference. They're all just going to beat the crap out of each other.
And as when we were talking about Jim Harbaugh, I mean, this guy actually, I kind of wanted to double check and look up, Jim Harbaugh because, I really wasn't knowledgeable in sports in 2011 and 2012 and what the heck was going on. So I didn't really know, but turns out that, Jim Harbaugh actually did not have a losing season in San Francisco. He actually, in his 4 seasons, he went 13-3, 11-4-1, 12-4, and 8-8. And then the 49ers let him go, which followed with their coach in 2015, taking their team to 5-11, which he got fired after 1 season. And that guy's name was Jim Tomsula, who I don't even remember, to be completely honest. And then since like 2019, I don't think that they had a winning record since Harbaugh. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is I think this guy's a really good coach. And like we said, I never really was too high on Colin Kaepernick. I didn't really think that he was going to be that prestigious quarterback. I mean, everybody was really highlighting after the Colin Kaepernick was Cam Newton and some of those guys in 2015, Russell Wilson and whatnot. I feel like Kaepernick just kind of got pushed to the side a little bit. But I don't know. I mean, the fact that they were able to have that great of a team, with like a pretty decent quarterback is pretty impressive, I would say. So
Yeah, I mean, Colin Kaepernick, like I know there's all the drama surrounding him, but he was not anything special, like objectively speaking, stats wise.
yeah, that's why I said he was decent. I mean, it
Other
wasn't like he was terrible. I mean, there's way worse quarterbacks in the NFL right now than Colin Kaepernick is. But I'm just saying, I don't think he was some elite quarterback that could have kept up with like at
Right.
that time Russell Wilson, for example. I'm not saying like Cam Newton was better than him because Cam Newton kind of fell off of relevancy pretty quickly. But I mean, Cam Newton still probably had a couple of really good years too. I mean, they had that
What-
crazy 15 in one season or whatever it was.
Colin Kaepernick only had one season where he got over 20 touchdowns. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm kind of, but that's impressive to get them to the Super Bowl with those numbers.
exactly.
I don't even think that was the season they went to the Super Bowl when he had the 20 touchdowns. So,
No, probably not.
and then I feel like his rookie year was 2011, and that 2012 quarterback draft class was just, 2011 second round Colin Kaepernick. That 2012 quarterback draft class is insane. I don't know if you've ever gone and looked at it. Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin III, Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill. There's probably guys I'm forgetting in there too. So you had to, if you were going to keep up with those rookies, you had to very quickly either be a Tom Brady, be a Peyton Manning, or you were going to be forgotten about because they were having to move on quick at the quarterback position.
And that honestly might happen this year. We have a ton of great quarterbacks coming out of the draft that I'm sure we'll talk about in the next coming months too. I mean, there's like at least 8 quarterbacks that people are talking about, and not all 8 are going to end up being starters, and they're probably all starter potential. So
we shall see. We could always start the narrative that Jim Harbaugh is going to draft J.J. McCarthy to replace Justin Herbert.
But what would the point be though? Like I don't know if I feel like that'd be a little bit of a stretch.
Well, it's like the Bengals fans that want to rebuild the LSU national championship team. Let's just they want to bring in Joe Brady because he was with LSU. I've seen people want to bring back Coach O to replace Zach Taylor. So let's do that in LA and see how they like it. We'll test it out there.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. But I mean, they could. I mean, if they wanted to draft him, but I think they're not gonna. I think Jim and the GM and I think the organization is not gonna focus on drafting a quarterback because I really do think they think Justin Herbert is him, and I do think he could be him, but he just needs to reach that level of potential. I mean, it took Josh Allen a couple of years to develop in the Buffalo, and it took some ups and downs. And now Josh Allen, everybody talks about, but he just can't beat Kansas City.
For context reasons, I'm joking.
I hope so. I hope you don't get that narrative out there because we gotta put that out there because somebody's gonna comment that as something angry and be like, "You are idiot. You need to stop." Justin Herbert, J.J. McCarthy is going to Patriots or whatever, wherever he's supposed to go.
Thanks for watching that video, guys. If you want to check out a most recent full episode of No Buts About It, that's going to be right over here. Right there. Check that out. And if you just want to see more short clips, we're going to have one right over here for you to watch. Check out No Buts About It on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts so you can listen to us on the go. Once again, have a great day and go do something nice for someone.